Think the most dangerous thing in the forest is a bear or a tiger. What about an invisible trap beneath your feet? One wrong step and you're attacked by a swarm of thousands of venomous wasps. Or consider squid, hunters that tear through divers' wetsuits and drag people to the bottom in seconds. Today, you'll meet the creatures that hunt in packs, and at the end, a monster nicknamed Black Death. It weighs a ton and deliberately hunts lions. Ready? Let's begin. Our ranking opens in the impenetrable oceanic depths where creatures known to local fishermen as red devils patrol the darkness. Humboldt squid, Dosidicus gigas, are highly evolved cephalopod mollusks adapted to survival in conditions of extreme oxygen scarcity. They can reach 8 feet in length and frequently exceed 110 pounds. Their circulatory system is unique. Their blood is based on hemocyanin, a copper-containing compound, giving it a bluish tint and allowing it to transport oxygen more efficiently in cold, deep water. Their primary weapon is a powerful chitinous beak whose structure transitions from a soft, flexible base near the muscle tissue to a razor-hard tip that surpasses many modern synthetic polymers in toughness. A single squid is a serious threat, but the true nightmare begins when they gather in aggregations of 1,000 to 1,200 individuals. These groups display frightening coordination. Squids shift their body color in an instant, from silver gray to vivid red, using specialized pigment cells called chromatophores and photophores. Scientists believe these rapid-fire color pulses function as a complex communication language that coordinates attacks. With a rapid metabolism that keeps them in a state of near-constant hunger, each individual is armed with long tentacles covered in hundreds of suckers ringed with sharp horn-like teeth that dig into flesh on contact. Documented attacks on professional divers in the Sea of Cortez have followed a consistent pattern. The moment one squid grabs a piece of equipment, the entire group joins the assault, tearing wetsuits, shattering masks with their beaks. Within their own swarms, there is no mercy for the weak. An injured or slowing individual is instantly consumed by its own group. After dark, the squid rise toward the surface, making night fishing in their territory an extremely hazardous activity. The legends of fishermen dragged into the abyss in seconds have a very real scientific foundation. 12th place belongs to the recognized strategists of the deep snow forest, the gray wolf. A lone wolf is dangerous. A wolf pack is something else entirely. A sophisticated biological machine in which individual weakness is compensated by collective planning. A pack typically forms around a family group led by a dominant breeding pair and includes 7 to 20 individuals of various ages. Evolution has equipped gray wolves with unique physiological adaptations for prolonged pursuit. Their paw structure prevents frostbite through a specialized counter-current heat exchange system in the blood vessels, while the pad texture provides reliable grip on ice and compacted snow. A wolf's heart is proportionately larger than that of most other predators, allowing them to run at a steady pace of around 6 miles per hour for hours, and to burst at up to 37 miles per hour when needed. Wolf hunting is not a chaotic chase, it is methodical exhaustion. When pursuing a large moose or deer through deep snow, the pack distributes effort with mathematical precision. Some wolves serve as drivers, steering the prey across the heaviest drifts. Others cut angles, set ambushes on forest trails, or relieve exhausted packmates, maintaining the maximum pace of pursuit. Coordination is achieved through a sophisticated system of body signals, facial expressions, ear and tail position, and vocalization. The wolf howl is not simply a haunting sound, it's a detailed exchange of information about pack member locations, territorial boundaries, and discovered prey. When a large ungulate is cornered, the wolves don't charge directly. They make feints, forcing the animal to expend its remaining energy on constant turns. When the prey makes a critical error or weakens, experienced pack members deliver precise bites to the tendons of the hind legs, stripping it of mobility. In severe winters, when snow depth critically increases the cost of survival, several family groups may temporarily merge into large alliances. 11th place goes to the inhabitants of South America's murky freshwater arteries, piranha. These fish have long earned a reputation as merciless freshwater killers, though under normal conditions their behavior is relatively peaceful. Their typical diet consists of sick or dead animals, small fish, insects, and even tree seeds. It is the ecological crisis of the dry season that fundamentally changes everything. When water levels in Amazon tributaries drop rapidly, enormous schools find themselves trapped in shrinking isolated pools cut off from the main channel. In conditions of oxygen scarcity and dwindling food, piranha pack into dense aggregations of several hundred to 5,000 individuals. The jaw anatomy of a piranha is remarkable. Its teeth are triangular with shearing edges, arranged so that when the jaws close, the upper teeth fit precisely into the gaps between the lower teeth, allowing the fish not to tear flesh but to cut it in clean sections. The bite force of a common piranha relative to its body weight exceeds that of most vertebrates on the planet. In a stimulated state, a school operates as a single cloud of thousands of razor blades. Any splash of water or trace of blood instantly activates the lateral line, a specialized sensory organ that detects minute vibrations. The attack unfolds as a continuous conveyor. One fish delivers a lightning bite and immediately retreats, making way for the next. This allows the school to strip the soft tissue of a large animal in minutes. The legendary reputation of piranhas was cemented after former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt's visit to Brazil in 1913, when locals deliberately netted off a section of river, starved the fish for several days, then threw in a cow carcass in front of the president, reducing it to a skeleton in minutes. Although this was a staged performance, during the actual dry season, a school of hungry piranha represents a genuine lethal threat to any living creature that enters the water. 10th place belongs to a hidden threat that often sits in immediate proximity to human activity: common wasps. Most people think of them as little more than an annoyance at a summer picnic. The biological structure of their colonies, however, is a highly effective collective defense system. Species that build nests underground in old rodent burrows or natural soil cavities pose a particular hazard. Such a nest is entirely invisible until a person or large animal physically steps on the camouflaged entrance dome. In that instant, a rapid mobilization mechanism is triggered. Beneath the surface may lie a colony of several hundred to 10,000 individuals. A wasp's stinger critically lacks the barb found on a bee's stinger, allowing the insect to sting repeatedly without damaging itself or dying after the attack. The truly destructive force, however, is chemical signaling. The moment a wasp stings, it releases volatile alarm pheromones that spread through the air instantly and are detected by the sensitive receptors of its nearby nestmates. Within seconds, an enraged swarm erupts from the ground, coordinating their pursuit by tracking the heat signature of the victim's body, the carbon dioxide they exhale, and the concentration of alarm pheromone marking their skin and clothing. Wasp venom is a complex chemical cocktail containing histamine, phospholipases, and specific peptides that rupture cell membranes and cause acute pain. When the number of stings reaches into the hundreds, as it can in a full nest mobilization, even a healthy adult human without any allergic predisposition can experience severe systemic poisoning, capable of causing kidney and neurological damage. Wasps in pursuit of an intruder can maintain high aggression at distances up to 300 feet from the nest. Their ability to instantly mobilize enormous numbers and operate as a unified defense system makes these small insects a formidable opponent for any mammal. 9th place belongs to some of the most intellectually sophisticated and socially organized predators on the African continent, the spotted hyena. Popular culture has long cast them as cowardly scavengers. Modern science comprehensively demolishes that image. Hyenas live in complex clans of up to 80 individuals governed by a strict matriarchy. Females are larger than males, carry elevated testosterone levels, and hold all dominant positions in the hierarchy. Hyena anatomy is engineered for maximum prey utilization. The crushing force of their jaws, enabled by powerful masseter muscles and a uniquely structured skull, generates enough pressure to shatter the femur bones of adult zebras and buffalo, granting them access to nutritious marrow that no other predator can reach. Clan hunting is a study in strategic planning. They employ a complex vocal communication system, including the famous laugh, which is actually a signal encoding information about an individual's age, social rank, and excitement level during a feeding event. In pursuit, hyenas can run at up to 37 miles per hour for several kilometers, physically depleting their prey. Their collective power is most dramatically demonstrated in confrontations with their primary rivals, lions. A single lioness outweighs and outmuscles a single hyena, but a clan of 15 to 20 hyenas can entirely shift the balance of power, surrounding a pride and making coordinated fast strikes from the rear, inflicting deep wounds. Researchers have established that hyenas are capable of mathematical situation assessment. They will never initiate an open clash with lions unless their numerical advantage is at least 3 to 1. This cold calculation and social flexibility make hyena clans the dominant force in the African night. 8th place belongs to the absolute record holders in hunting efficiency among all land predators, the African wild dog. While the success rate of large cat predators rarely exceeds 30%, the hunting raid success rate of these canines reaches an extraordinary 80%. The secret lies in their anatomical adaptations and an exceptionally high level of intra-group solidarity. A wild dog pack typically numbers 10 to 30 individuals, and unlike most other pack predators, internal aggression within the group is virtually non-existent. Caring for sick, elderly, and injured packmates is standard behavior. They lack dew claws on their front feet, which lengthens their stride and allows them to cover enormous distances with minimal energy expenditure. Their hunting tactic is built on phenomenal endurance. After selecting a target from a herd of antelope, the pack begins pursuit, sustaining a pace of around 30 miles per hour across distances of up to 3 miles. During the chase, roles rotate continuously. An exhausted lead dog drops back to the second echelon, while flanking dogs prevent the prey from changing direction or hiding in undergrowth. Because wild dogs lack the massive jaws and body mass of a lion, they cannot apply a suffocating throat grip. Prey dies from rapid blood loss during the chase itself, as pursuers tear away flesh on the move. The method appears brutal but is biologically rational. The pack must eliminate the kill as quickly as possible to avoid losing it to larger predators, such as lions or hyenas, which regularly engage in kleptoparasitism, stealing their kills. In 15 minutes, virtually nothing remains of a large antelope, an endorsement of these animals' flawless collective efficiency. 7th place belongs to the undisputed rulers of the world's oceans, orcas. The largest members of the dolphin family, they occupy the very pinnacle of the global food chain with no natural predators. They are called the wolves of the ocean, though their intellectual level and social structure far surpass those of any canid. They live in stable matrilineal groups of 5 to 100 individuals, with the eldest female as leader. This matriarch is the repository of unique ecological knowledge accumulated across generations, including specific hunting tactics and the acoustic dialect unique to her family. Each family uses its own distinct sound pattern, and their ability to plan and coordinate complex attack strategies continues to astonish researchers. When hunting seals on drifting ice floes, a group of orcas forms into a perfect line and swims in synchrony toward the flow, striking the water with powerful tail slaps just before impact. This creates a directed hydrodynamic wave that washes the target animal directly into the water and into the waiting orcas. When targeting large baleen whales, they operate with military precision. Some hold the multi-ton prey from below, preventing it from diving. Others leap on top of it, blocking the blowhole. Others isolate the calf from its mother. In the Pacific, certain populations have specialized in hunting great white sharks using knowledge of shark anatomy. Orcas flip the shark onto its back, inducing tonic immobility, a paralysis state in which the predator loses the ability to move or breathe. This cold tactical precision, combined with the capacity to learn and pass cultural traditions across generations, makes orcas the absolute masters of the sea, a supremacy built on flawless collective intelligence. 6th place takes us to the micro level where wars are waged with a brutality that surpasses many large animal conflicts. The Asian giant hornet is an insect up to 2 inches long with a wingspan exceeding 2.75 inches. But its danger lies less in its size and quarter-inch stinger than in its capacity to coordinate mass offensive operations against other social insects, primarily honeybees. Under normal conditions, hornets are solitary, but when a large beehive is located, strategy shifts entirely. A scout hornet marks the hive with a special secretion containing volatile esters. This scent recruits nestmates, and soon a raiding party of around 30 individuals assembles at the hive entrance, facing an army of tens of thousands of bees whose numerical advantage may reach 30,000 to 1. What follows is a systematic and merciless slaughter, protected by a tough chitinous exoskeleton that bee stingers cannot penetrate. Armed with massive mandibles, the hornets operate as living shredders, methodically bisecting bees, decapitating up to 40 opponents per minute. In 3 hours, 30 hornets can completely annihilate an entire hive colony, leaving the surrounding ground carpeted in dead bodies. Once resistance is crushed, the raiders enter the hive to retrieve larvae and honey for feeding their own young. The only effective defense developed by native Japanese honeybees is the heat ball. They surround the hornet scout with hundreds of bodies and, through coordinated muscle vibration, raise the air temperature inside the ball high enough to cook the intruder alive in carbon dioxide before it can transmit its alarm signal. European honeybees lack this evolutionary adaptation entirely and are completely defenseless against a coordinated assault by these giants. Fifth place belongs to the creature whose intelligence and social behavior most closely mirrors our own, the chimpanzee. For a long time, these primates were considered peaceful vegetarians, until the 1970s when the renowned researcher Jane Goodall documented a 4-year war between two rival clans in the forests of Gombe. Chimpanzees live in complex communities of up to 100 individuals, within which males form stable coalitions. One of the most disturbing aspects of their behavior is territorial border patrol. Groups of 10 to 15 young males organize silent raids. During these missions, they completely stop their usual vocalizations, move in single file, and listen carefully to every sound, searching for lone individuals from a neighboring clan. Upon finding a target, they follow a planned scheme. Part of the group cuts off escape routes through the trees, while the rest launch a ferocious attack on the ground. Possessing physical strength several times that of a human, chimpanzees use their long canine teeth and powerful limbs to inflict devastating injuries on arrival. These attacks are deliberate and sustained until the intruder shows no further signs of life. When hunting other monkey species, such as red colobus, chimpanzees display clear role distribution. Some function as drivers, others take up positions on predicted escape routes, while others execute the final leap from ambush. The realization that our closest living relatives are capable of this level of cold-blooded tactical planning, coordinated warfare, and deliberate group violence forces a complete re-examination of the evolutionary roots of human aggression. Fourth place goes to one of the most highly organized and aggressive primates on the African continent, the baboon. These large primates form stable communities that can exceed 150 individuals, internally organized by a strict social hierarchy based on male dominance and female coalitions. Adult males carry muscular forelimbs and elongated jaws with canine teeth up to 2 inches long, exceeding the canine size of many large cats. Their collective strength and high intelligence allow them to adapt successfully to environmental change and actively displace other predators from their range. What particularly draws researchers' attention is their coordinated raids on human settlements and tourist facilities. These are not disorganized food searches, they are clearly planned operations. While several younger males serve as decoys, creating noise and drawing attention, the main group quietly infiltrates houses or vehicles, opening doors and windows thanks to their highly developed fine motor skills. If a human attempts to defend their property, baboons immediately shift to collective defense. On the lead male's signal, dozens of large males form a battle line, displaying canines and producing threatening vocalizations. In the wild, baboon troops are capable of standing their ground against leopards, their primary natural predator. If a leopard attacks a group member, the baboons don't flee, they surround the cat, pelt it with rocks and branches, and the largest males go in for a direct clash, inflicting deep, lacerating wounds with their canines. Documented cases show that such counterattacks have ended in the leopard's death, demonstrating the crushing power of collective resistance. Third place belongs to herds of feral hogs and wild boar. Domestic pigs that escape into the wild display remarkable evolutionary plasticity. Within just a few months of living in nature, phenotypic changes are triggered. They develop dense, bristly coats, skull morphology shifts, large tusks begin to grow, and behavior becomes extremely aggressive. Feral hogs consolidate into large groups, sounders, often numbering 30 to 100 individuals. An adult male can exceed 550 pounds and reach speeds of 25 miles per hour across rough terrain, turning a running sounder into a battering ram that levels whatever stands in its path. Boar tusks have a unique self-sharpening design. The upper and lower teeth constantly grind against each other during chewing, maintaining a razor edge continuously. At up to nearly 5 inches long, they inflict deep, lacerating wounds that frequently sever major arteries. In regions such as the American South, feral hogs have become an ecological disaster of enormous scale, destroying agricultural land, consuming bird nests, killing small mammals, and attacking livestock. The skin covering the boar's shoulders and chest is thickened and coated with a layer of hardened resin and mud, forming what is called the shield, or shield in German hunting tradition. This natural armor protects vital organs from the tusks of rivals and even from light firearm rounds. Their ability to act cohesively under threat, combined with extraordinary endurance and true omnivory, makes sounders of these animals one of the most underestimated and dangerous forces in the wild. The silver medal goes to the incredibly fierce and fearless Asiatic wild dog, the dhole. This unique member of the dog family occupies its own separate genus, distinguished by anatomical differences from gray wolves, including fewer molars and a greater number of mammary glands. Resembling a cross between a fox and a jackal in appearance, they are compactly built and weigh around 44 pounds. Their power lies in the unique structure of their clans, which can number up to 100 individuals. Within these clans, an extraordinary level of cooperation is maintained. Dholes are the only canids capable of coordinated attacks on apex predators such as leopards, Himalayan bears, and Bengal tigers, animals that can exceed 550 pounds. For coordination in dense jungle, they use not howling but a complex system of whistling sounds that resemble birdsong. This whistling allows the pack to disperse through undergrowth and encircle prey without revealing their presence to other large predators nearby. Hunting a tiger represents the pinnacle of their tactical art. Understanding that a single swipe of a tiger's paw is lethal, dholes never attack frontally. They stretch the tiger's defensive perimeter, while some individuals make feinting approaches from the front, forcing the great cat to spin. Others deliver lightning bites from behind, targeting the tendons. The hunt can continue for hours until the tiger weakens from blood loss and physical exhaustion. Dholes pursue prey with relentless persistence, covering dozens of kilometers across gorges and rocky terrain. Their tactical flexibility, complete absence of fear in the face of a physically superior opponent, and flawless teamwork make them some of the most effective cooperative hunters on the planet. And finally, the gold medal undisputed first place goes to an animal whose crushing power, explosive temperament, and absolute willingness to stand by one another to the very end instills fear even in the recognized kings of the savannah. The African buffalo, known among professional hunters as Black Death. This member of the bovine family is one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. An adult male can weigh up to a ton, and its massive head is crowned with enormous curved horns that fuse at the forehead into a continuous bone shield, a structure hard enough to absorb a direct hit from a large caliber rifle round. Buffalo live in enormous herds numbering several hundred individuals, and in favorable seasons exceeding 1,000. Their strength lies not only in raw physical mass, but in a phenomenal degree of intra-group solidarity. Unlike most other large herbivores that flee at the first sign of predators, a buffalo herd can instantly shift from retreat to active defense and to counterattack. If a lion pride attempts to isolate a sick animal or a calf, the herd responds to signals from dominant males by turning and advancing as a solid wall toward the threat. This multi-ton living avalanche is capable of trampling any predator. Lions frequently have no choice but to flee into trees, where the buffalo can keep them pinned for hours. What makes the African buffalo even more remarkable and more dangerous is its memory and capacity for deliberate vengeance. They track lions by scent and launch targeted attacks on lion resting sites. If a herd locates a den containing defenseless lion cubs, they destroy them without hesitation, methodically reducing the future population of their enemies. Unpredictability, colossal physical force, and flawless collective mutual defense make the African buffalo the undisputed leader of our list, the pack animal that can stand against any threat on Earth. As nature consistently demonstrates, individual physical traits, speed, claws, or powerful jaws frequently give way before the force of coordinated teamwork and collective intelligence. If this material gave you a new perspective on the natural world, support it with a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.